Let's do this. G'day, legends. TJC Sports here. Welcome back to another legendary NRL live stream reaction here. Today, we're going to be reacting to the Melbourne Storm versus the Canberra Raiders. I've got that the wrong way around, but close enough, right, legends? As we always say on the channel when TJC fumbles his words, because he's totally not the biggest Muppet you ever heard of. Totally not, right? You guys got to suck up to me a little. It is my channel after all. Great to have you all here. If you enjoy, as always, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and get on for it here. The Melbourne Storm battling not to achieve a 14-year-old first tonight, legends, of losing 5 in a row. Normally, I'd say no, absolutely not, never going to happen, legends, never, right? I mean, 5 in a row, this is Melbourne Storm we're talking about. They're a team that's pretty much guaranteed top 4. That's what we always say, right? But this is the Raiders. All right. Not only have they lost 4 in a row and they've been convincing losses, quite a few of them, but it's the Raiders here, the bogey team. Honestly, to show you how much of a bogey team the Raiders are, the one time that I go to a neutral game since moving to Sydney from Melbourne was when the Raiders beat the Storm at Amy Park. I remember I don't remember the exact round, but James Schiller scored a try in the corner, and I remember absolutely flipping it at that there. Now, let's say hello to the chat here and get ready for a big one. Don't worry, legends. We will be getting on with the lineups in a couple minutes here, all right? Just want to give them time to finalize it. Rugby Fella says first. Congratulations, Rugby Fella. Good to have you in first. Sorry for not streaming on Thursday, legends. TJC has a lot on his plate at the moment, but he absolutely appreciates you guys so much. Rugby Fella, with our first prediction of the stream, says Storm 1-12. First try scorer to be Harry the Wizard Grant. Mate, I could see a Harry Houdini doing something in this game today. 100%, bro. And then he'll be dropped into Gryffindor for giving the bravery and hope to the team. Liam Pritchard says, Tyler, can the Parramatta Eels beat the Bulldogs on Sunday? That's not till Sunday, Liam, but can and will are different things completely, legend. I hope we can, Liam. I hope we can. Shane J. Hay says, it'd be insane to see the 09 Sheets lose 5. I didn't say it. You said it. Lose 5 in a row. But if there's a team that's going to do it, it's Sticky Ricky's side. Pretty much my thoughts exactly, Shane J. Hay, right now at this point in time. Those can change, though. You know, the Storm, they're just that kind of team where you find it hard not to believe they turn it around at some point. I am absolutely nowhere near one of the biggest lovers of the Storm. We all know this, right? Like, I mean, watch my vlogs when we play Melbourne, but you have to be honest too and admit that there is definitely something to their side. Hey, Tyler, it's official. Pedro Molinvar hates Manchester United. Absolutely they do, Angus. Absolutely they do. They despise us. It's a joke, kind of like how the bunker hates Para. Hudso says, go Raiders, and there's a lot of go Raiders in the chat from him there. Good to see. Good to see support for your team there, bro. Nothing makes me happier when we do a stream than seeing how many passionate fans we have that aren't Para fans for all these different groups here. Angus says, random South fan here, up the bunnies, bro. You guys play tomorrow. Might not be able to stream that, but we'll see, legend. I'll try to do the Tigers-Broncos game, at least one tomorrow. We'll see about the middle game. We won't be able to do the first game tomorrow, though, just putting that out there, guys. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to watch the Tanner Boyd Cup. Though don't you worry, I'll be keeping myself updated on how that goes because there ain't no way I'm not going to know the score of the Tanner Boyd Cup. Mel says, hello. Hello, Mel. Up the wires. Evening legends. Hello, my favorite Aussie. Who? What? Me? Aw, tough day. Not very well, but I'm here because you always make me laugh. Appreciate that, Mel. Good to have you here. Honestly, you make us happy, so good to have you here too. Steve Cohen says, up the Raiders, go Raiders. Hey, let's go. Lots of Raiders support. Rugby Fella showing support for Melbourne in the chat. Steve Cohen says Raiders are going to win and get up for this one. Big J. Hey, Big J. Welcome to the stream, mate. Big J Footy. I remember you, bro. Long time no see. Long time no see indeed, bro. You doing well? You still keen on, you still do any uploads or what? How you doing? Been a long time, bro. I won't be on the chat because I will be there. Angus, I want you at the, okay, I want you to be screaming, all right, at this game here. TJC hates you. I want to hear a lot of g'day legends, all right? I want to hear a lot of support for the Raiders on behalf of me, just from you, bro, at the game. Hoping Raiders get the dub, says Mel. Honestly, I'll do my best to be neutral with it, legends. I'm going to call it as what it is straight up. Yes, I, as a Para fan, would rather the Raiders win. But that does not mean if the Storm score that I'm not going to be going, yeah, Storm. You know, I'm not going to be going, what a moment from Storm. Like, you're going to get fair commentary from your boy and fair opinions on the decisions, all right? So don't worry, Storm fans. This will still be enjoyable for you. Steve Cohen says, oi, up the milk, baby. Eels are celebrating 40th anniversary when they beat Bulldogs 1986 grand final. Yeah, bro, yeah. Well, we were celebrating a milestone when we turned 80 versus the Tigers. I mean, not versus the Tigers. It was versus the Titans. How embarrassing was that? Biggest win ever for the Titans. Congratulations to them. They more than deserved it, but not good enough from us. Tonight's a big fortnight for Melbourne Storm. They haven't won since they beat the Dragons, and that's no bragging right at the most. You say that to the Storm, Angus. You say that to the Storm, all right? You got to be like, legends, all right? I want to hear a lot of TJC quips throughout the game. Do your thing, bro. Support. Represent. Steve Cohen says, by the way, I'm subbed. Oh, well, appreciate you, legends. Shout out to Steve Cohen, legends, for the amazing subscription there. I'll be taking a look at the rest of the comments in a second, guys. It's just we're about to kick off, so I should read the lineups. For the Raiders at fullback, we have Weeks with Sebastian Chris and Jed Stewart on the wings. Unfortunately, Tamale's not there at his own request, requesting to be dropped to take a few weeks off. Matthew Tomoko and Simi Sasangi are in the centers, with Ethan Strange and Ethan Sanders in the halves. Joseph Tarpany and Atta Mariotto, your props, with Tom Starling at hooker. Honestly, these changes that they do late are so predictable that they might as well not be doing them. Hudson Young and Zach Hosking in the second row, and Corey Horsburgh at lock. The bench is Joash Papali, Noah Martin, Jaden Brayley, Morgan Smithies, Dane Laurie, and Joe Roddy. As for the visiting side, the Melbourne Storm, we have Sua Falogo at fullback, with Will Warbrick and Nick Meaney on the wings. Jack Halp and Manaya Wata are your centers, with Cameron Munster and Jerome Hughes in the halves. Stefano Utue Kabanu and Josh King in the props. Harry Houdini captains the side at hooker. Joe Chan and Cooper Clark are your second rowers, and Trent Loiero at lock still. That won't be popular with the Storm fans here. The bench is Tyron Wishart, Alec McDonald, Jack Heverington. God, I love the Viking clap, legends. It's so epic. Davey Moali, Sean Bloor, and Hugo Peel, hoping to peel back a victory here for them. How do you think the Raiders are going to go? I think they're going to go well. I hope they win, Steve, personally, in my opinion. I mean, you're going to the South game. Doy, nice, Doy, you're a South fan. All right, well, make sure you say good day, legends, to a couple South boys, eh? Good on you, Angus. Rinakama says, yo, TJC, best of luck this Sunday. Thank you, Rinakama. May the best team win, brother. Hey, I know the Dogs should win. I know you should have a great day, but seriously, man, let's see how it goes. I can't wait to play you. I love a lot of your fans. There's a lot of types of fans I don't love with Dogs, but there's also, when they're the respectful type, they're some of the best you'll come around. So can't wait for that day to passion versus passion, rival versus rival, right? Going back to the 80s. Incredible stuff. Anyways, legends, I think it's time to get on with the game. What do you guys think? First half, Raiders, Storm at GIO Stadium. Our first of two tonight. Who else is pumped for this one here? The Canberra Raiders kick us off. And some footy from the capital to give yourself some Friday feels here. Haven't uploaded because I'm not passionate about it anymore. I just want to watch the footy these days. By the way, I've been doing great. Great to hear you're doing great, man. That's fair enough, bro. If you're not passionate about it, don't do it, right? Been a minute. How are we doing? We're doing good, Jettykin. How are you doing? You excited for the Dolphins game next up? Last I checked, you supported them. Cooper Clark through the middle with a big tackle on him from Corey Horsburgh. They've got a bit of a rivalry in this game today, legends. Ran the middle. I'm not sure where it exactly came from, but in context to that, reports indicate that Cooper Clark was giving it to Corey Horsburgh as a spectator several years ago as a fan. While Horsburgh was sin-binned, he turned to him and called him a fat prick. It's believed to have been said. Maybe he'll call him one today as well. This is the first Bulldogs versus Eagles game I'm missing since 22. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Renakama. Why is that, bro? You busy with something? I'm a watch now. Bye. All good, Steve. Enjoy the game, bro. I'm doing well, man. A tackle break through the middle here. The Canberra Raiders. Sanders wrapped up here. Raiders on the second. Through the middle, it's Jed Stewart now. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the game, Legend, because it is copyrighted, mate. But Simi Sasangi through the middle. I know some Americans on Twitch show it, Legend, but on YouTube, most people don't show it. And if they do, they show commentary. And if they show the game, they get shut down pretty quick. YouTube's very good at copyright watch. Plus, I am part of the partner program and don't exactly want to lose that. But appreciate you, man. High kick in the air to the left. Sewer for Longo, watching it awkwardly here. He manages to wrap it up neatly, though, and goes down to the ground. It is a clear night here and a clear take there from the Storm as Will Warbrick now crashes through the middle. Shout out to the 16 of you who have voted so far on the poll. 69% of you reckon the Canberra Raiders are going to get on top today. Melbourne Storm fans, get behind your team in the chat. Come on, get going with it. Anyways, I've got Storm to win, but Sewer to score. Great prediction, Legend. I think Sewer to score with a try plus Storm to win's very possible in this game. Back through the middle now. Pretty much any backline player in this game is pretty solid, isn't it? Harry Grant, fifth tackle here. They're going to run it. They get it to Munster, and Munster will now finally clear the ball here. What do we think of Melbourne? What do we think? Melbourne, thank you. Angus getting passionate in the chat against them, cheering on the Canberra Raiders. You love to see it. Panthers be out for revenge after last week. Hey, cross your fingers, Jetty Kid. Nothing's impossible. If I can back Para to beat the Dogs this week, you can do anything. And Canberra, they're only halfway through the set as Tom Starling makes a run over to the Storm's 40. For those at home that can't watch the game, Raiders are attacking from the left of your screen towards the right with the Storm in a thin defensive line through the middle here. Horsburgh will take on Grant. Loiero works with him there to put a tackle in. And who said Loiero can't do a tackle? Now on fifth tackle, it's a 60-meter kick. We go to the left, and it ends up with Will Warbrick here. Warbrick could get in for a dropout. Oh, he loses it. He loses it. Is that a try for Hudson Young? That would have been the most unconventional try in the history of rugby league. They've given it for now. I don't think it gets more unconventional than that. 4-0 to the home side at the ACT. All of a sudden, the momentum completely on the Raiders' warpath here. And I don't know how on earth this has happened. Sanders, his kick is fine, I guess, but Warbrick, this is a clean take for him. He should just flop on the ground. Instead, he tries to do a bit of a roll. They drag him up. Could it be a penalty for being held, surrendering on the ground, or would they say that he was still being pushed, momentum was still going? It's a big call here coming up for the bunker. Warbrick, says Mel. Warbrick, should I give a bit of a preview of him being the new DWZ or the new RTS, right? Always there, loses it. Hudson Young just flops on over, and that might be one of the easiest tries I would normally say that I've seen a forward score, but Hudson Young had a pretty easy one last week when he flew over for his first versus the Rabbitohs. I mean, nobody was on him. He pretty much strolled through for that try. This one, he pretty much strolled through too. I think you could have a serious debate for which one was the hardest. Rinakamas is far out. Welcome to Waz Grant Anderson. Oh, great trade there. Mitch Barnett off to the Broncos, who play tomorrow. He won't be officially going this year, but it's a good deal agreed for next season to strengthen up their numbers, right? The bunker's still doing his thing. Do you think they might go about him being potentially held? I mean, the kick from Sanders, that was spot on there. There's no question about the kick. I think it's more so about whether he was held, right? That would be the debate. Yo, Charlie Hamilton, welcome to the stream. He said, I said it last week, and I'll say it again. Warbrick getting flogged by Craig. He's getting flogged by him. Wait. Oh, no. Oh, no. Legends, they might disallow it. This might be get out of jail for Storm. They're saying potential accidental offside. It touches Seb's leg. There's no way you're saying that he's going for a kick there, right? There is absolutely no way that that's how you're going to disallow it. I'm sorry, but classic rugby league. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I'm a neutral here, but as if that's not a try in regular rugby league terms. The kick in front of the chaser rule was not invented for that. It was not invented for that. He loses the ball into the leg. Since when do you make that part of the... Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm not saying that they don't technically have a point on paper, but I consider that a joke. I'm like, that's just not how I write the books, you know? Such a disappointment there. And the Canberra Raiders, they won't get the try, but they'll get the scrum here. Welcome back, Steve Cohen. Now let's cut to the coach's box of Craig Bellamy. I can tell you I'm seeing without the window. Bro, it's completely smashed. The glass is falling everywhere. Of course I missed you, Steve. Welcome. Quick question. Can someone tell me what a disruptor is? Feel free to give him a go, chat, because at this point I'm done saying disruptors. Penalty here for the Canberra Raiders again. Honestly, I think it would just be justice for Raiders to score here after that. Melbourne on the big defense positionally. Will they go pack the scrum? They will. And the referee warning here that if they do something like that again, they're in the bin. Melbourne got to be careful now. I'm watching you on my phone as well. Awesome. Appreciate that, Steve. Corruption, says Charlie. Mate, that was close to corruption, wasn't it? That no try. Ridiculous. Sanders, back to Atta Mariota. You're watching me on the TV. Hey, let's go, bro. Double trouble, eh? Craig's come back and he's got the belt. He's got the belt. He's going to make you melt. He's going to be the champion of WWE. I tipped Raiders, says Mel, with a big smile. That is a very weird rule, an extremely weird rule. They had to find something in the archives to stop them. Sebastian Chris out the field onto the left here. Nearly held out there. Nearly goes out. Luckily stays in now. Hudson Young will feel hard done by not to have a try versus the Storm here. Squashes into the line. Held back on the 10. Are you betting on who's going to win? I haven't put a bet on... No, I don't really bet. Oh, Sanders! Sasagi for the Raiders! Well, I've tipped the Raiders, if that's what you're wondering. Canberra Raiders lead 4-0, and it's Simi Sasagi. Arguably, the Raiders' best player of the year so far. All I knew him as was that random center selected for Samoa before this year, and now he's become one of the best that I look forward to watching all season. So there's debate whether Chris dropped the ball on the previous play. I don't think he did, but there was a bobble there. I think it's justice for the last call. And there they go. Can you believe Raiders are 15th? No, I cannot, but I can't believe the Storm have just lost 4 in a row either, man. Take that back. Update the scoreboard, my man. Nah. I'm not updating the scoreboard because it's 4-0 now, bro. It's 4-0 now. I predicted it, Jettykin. It was a protest. It was a protest, Jettykin. He really has been in spectacular form for the Raiders. Simi Sasagi, the former Newcastle Knight. Ethan Strange through the middle, not Sanders setting this one up here. And whether it's one Ethan that can't get through, there'll always be another. The Ethan revolution begins. It starts with Strange and Sanders, and now Sasagi is over. Go the Green Machine, says Ben in the chat here. They're the bad and mean Green Machine. I'm back, TJC Sports. Welcome back, Mickey. Hey, Mickey, you so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. Welcome to the stream. Make sure you hit that subscribe. I'm back. I forgot to do my trades. Oh, no. Oh, no. You poor Muppet, you. No. And they get the kick as well. It's 6-0 here, legends, to the Canberra Raiders. I'm trying to be like you one day. Appreciate that, man. Hope you get there one day, bro. It's not that tough. You just got to be committed. You just got to be committed to it. Melbourne Storm kick us off again now. That's a great piece of play there to Stewart. Wish you luck. Come on here on Rugby League commentary, staying for the karaoke. That's actually peak Rugby League stream comment right there. Papali, here's the whistle here, and the ref's going to blow it. And not in terms of calls this time for now. Don't worry, he hasn't blown the game yet. Game for the stream, sticks for the karaoke. That's what I think everyone should be doing on these streams, right? They realize that I'm an amazing singer and that makes them stick. Storm are in shambles. Oh, it's only 6-0, but yeah, nah, compared to their usual, they're in absolute shambles. Corey Horsburgh. Down in he goes. It's hard for me with Horsburgh. I rate him as a player 100%, but every time I look at him, I just think of the player that cried and popped the finger at Para. Now to left for the green machine. Ata Mariota. What is the point, by the way? I don't know if anyone else knows Sticky Ricky's reasoning behind it, but always putting Zach Hosking and Mariota on late to the starting bench. Like, what are they doing there? Like, come on. We know where they're going to go. It's like that brief period, I think it was Arthur, where they kept putting Junior off the bench, but named him as starter anyways. Like, what are you doing? Is it because they really want that shirt number? I highly doubt Hosking really wants 15. Now to the left with Weeks. Weeks inside the 20 to the left side now. Behind the 10. One more tackle left in the set. If the Raiders can get another here. A great kick from Sanders to Suggy. It's backwards here from Horsburgh. Horsburgh takes them on alone here. He's got it! He's got it! That's a try! He's actually got it! He's actually got it! Oh my God, it's 10-0 in 10 minutes! 10-0 in 9 minutes, actually, if we're going to be exact. Raiders setting Storm ablaze! You're my favorite YouTuber, TJC Sports. Thank you very much, man. You're one of my favorite commenters, not commentators. Commenters. I'm sure you could commentate. Anybody could commentate if they recognize this ability. 10-0! Sanders just positioned himself so perfectly there. Horsburgh found the gap through the right thanks to the offload from Sasagi, who just bats it back here. He leaves it be for Horsburgh Hosking. And Horsburgh, instead of passing where they thought he was going to go, he rolls over and 4 Melbourne defenders could not stop him. Go the Raiders, go the Raiders, go the Raiders, go the Raiders. Steve is just shouting, go the Raiders in the chat. No, you're the best. You're the best, Nikki. You. Banging the drums, Angus, there. You better be banging them drums. Drums. I said drums. You better be banging those drums. And the Canberra Raiders, I have a feeling that if it keeps going how it's going, they are not going down on that pole. I dislike the Raiders very much, but I do like to see Storm bottom 4. Oh, wow. You know, that as much as you'd love to see them bottom 4, they're going to have to keep conceding points for it to happen. They're going to have to keep conceding points for it to happen at the moment. Though that's not too hard to do. If they continue to be scoreless here, they can enter the bottom 4 in no time, especially if the Raiders don't. If the Raiders concede under 10 and they keep scoring how they are, this is dangerous stuff. Zach Bellyache's behavior last week was horrible. Honestly, Mel, I controversial take. I probably wouldn't have renewed Bellamy. Controversial take. I probably would say that Bellamy, you'd have to have a talk with him about the results. I think he's a legend that deserves the respect from Melbourne to give him time, but like, surely you'd have to have a talk to him, right? Like, the last few years, well, yes, they've made grand finals. They've fallen short for a reason, you know, and you got to start to wonder, like, with the youth running through and stuff, whether that fresh blood, it's sometimes not about how legendary or great the team is. It's about, do they still, you know, sometimes do you just need fresh blood in, you know? Like, there was a time where I think Brad was the right choice for Para, and then, well, he's gone for a reason. It just ran its course, right? Like, that's a bit bold of me to be saying about Bellamy. I'm not going to make that a firm thought till the end, but, like, it's just worth noting, legends. Now through the middle here. Answer, please, please, please. What did you answer? What do you want me to answer, legend? They are 13th right now. They are 13th right now. What was brave enough to have that chat with Bellyache? I know. Who's brave enough to have the chat, but it's a chat that might need to be had, bro. Genuinely, I think it's a chat that you might have to have. It's not about whether being brave enough. I think they've got to be professionals about this with him. Horsburgh, penalty. Oh my God. It's a penalty for the Storm for dissent from Horsburgh. The ref saying he's not going to deal with a shot being had at him. On the 30 now, Melbourne running here. And this is the perfect opportunity for Storm to change things around now. E-I-E-I-O. Up the table we go. When we win the league, this is what we'll see. Canberra, Canberra. Ricky Stewart is king. Canberra, Canberra. Tyler's going to win the thing. And Josh King wrapped up on the 10. 3 tackles gone by. Grant to the right. It's opening up here. This could be dangerous for long open Storm. Facing in there for the number 1. And Melbourne. Oh, he's hurt himself doing it, I think. Oh, no. He may have picked up an ankle injury in the process of scoring for Melbourne. And just as you think they can celebrate, they may have lost one of their most consistent players all year for a bit. He can't get up. He knows he's messed up his ankle. He's rolling around. Don't pull in panic stations till we know for sure. But are you joking me, bloody Supercoach? My Supercoach too, bro. Both our Supercoaches have been thrown in the gutter with that one there. Raiders, says Steve Cohen. Having a go at Shand was a pretty low blow. They're a team, not just one guy. Exactly, Mel. Exactly. But that's Horsburgh for you. That's Horsburgh for you. And he's ended up with his words, blowing a gasket and ending it for him. Is it a possibility that Melbourne are going to miss the year? I guess if they play like this all year, yes. Question is, will they play like this all year? My brain still... I know it'd probably happen one day, but it's hard for my brain to wrap it around the chance that the Melbourne Storm genuinely have a year where they're so bad that they don't play finals. Heck, they're in the bottom 4, you know? But you got to remember, Penrith Panthers made it all the way to a prelim. They were last halfway through the year. Things can definitely shift. Melbourne Storm take the kick, and Nick Meddy's got it. 12-6 now. And could this be the shift in momentum they needed? Suafalogo's up now. Hopefully, that means he's fine. Man down, Melbourne. We got a man down. We got a man up now. We got a man up. The big red donut is a proper lemon. Yeah, exactly, bro. He's built like a house, but in reality, he has the will of straw. I would like to see Storm versus Bulldogs in finals at Amy Park because I'll be in Melbourne first week of finals. Rinakama, I hope so for your sake because I think that would be an epic story for you to tell. After Mariota, quick play there. 63% possession to Raiders so far here. 12-6 at the moment. While the Raiders have by far been the better team, Storm have been given the best opportunity they could to be shifting momentum now. Munster over to the left here with our boy Cooper Clark. He got his first try last week against the Warriors in an unfortunate loss to make it 4 straight here. I'm convinced it's Big Ant Studios. I'm convinced the Big Ant Studio shorts are why this is happening here. Terrible game causes terrible playing ability. Calling it now. Para, I don't want to know where we'd be. We'd end up not being a club anymore if we put Big Ant on our shorts. So thank God Melbourne did. And Raiders lose the ball. Jen Stewart with the mistake. Munster celebrates with glee. This is a massive moment here. The Raiders, with such a promising start, may have just thrown it away in a matter of a few minutes. Yeah, clean loss just at the last minute there. Munster with great pressure on the Canberra Raiders defense. I'm going for the NFL because my team is playing in Melbourne. Well, then hopefully you have one of the best weeks of your life in that case, right? The worst season I can remember from Melbourne under Bellamy was either 2014 or 2015 by memory. They made the finals but weren't that great, and I got bundled out in week 1. Really? Yeah, no. I think I remember the 20. I think I remember. It's a little vague, but yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. So they had a very poor year around
It was a bit over 10 years ago now. Yeah. But they still played finals. That's the thing. Even their poor year, they're making finals, right? That's the crazy thing about Melbourne. Hughes to the right. Warbrick now and Storm, I think, have just forced the Raiders to completely drop their lollies. It's 10-12 now and a kick to come here. Surely Melbourne have just equalised. One of the best finals runs of all time. Yeah, then, of course, South ran away at the end of the grand final, but credit to Bulldogs where it's due for making it all the way there. That game was epic, by the way. I still remember that, the Rabbitohs and the Bulldogs. I'm not sure what exactly the defensive strategy was there from Sebastian Kris. I'd love to ask him, guys. Looking at that play there, I'd love to sit down with Sebastian Kris and ask him, what was your strategy there, my boy? What was the plan? What was the end game goal with this? Because all you've really done is completely left your wing open and stood in a nowhere zone, giving Hughes clear perspective to be able to pass that. Hughes had a week to think of whether he was going to pass that or not. And the Melbourne Storm in 2026, it's been ups and downs, mostly downs, but a great moment there for Warbrick, who hasn't actually scored as many as you would have thought this year. Who would have thought Thomas Jenkins would be outscoring everyone, right? He plays in the next game, Dolphins-Panthers. Nick Meaney. And he misses it. The Raiders still lead. The Raiders actually still lead. Oh, my God. Warbrick doesn't want to get flogged. He doesn't want to get flogged. It's a bit like St. Helens. We were dreadful last year, but still made playoffs. We've made the playoffs every year since 1996. You can be dreadful, but it's just an expectation. It's how you do things, right? Your worst years are still some of the best for others. But to be fair, we were only doing good till last 20 minutes. Exactly, Redekama. The last 20 minutes you don't want to remember, but up till then you did pretty good. Up the wires brick, Mel says. I've never even noticed his Olympic tattoo on his arm there, of course. Shout out to the games. That's where a lot of people discovered his incredible ability. Hughes to the right with Joe Chan here. Joe Chan, can he get the Raiders to get a bit more mouthy here? 2 subs away from the number going up, Legends. If you haven't yet, hit that button. The Storm. I reckon this game today is going to be a close game. I reckon I'd like both games today to be close. I'm worried about Panthers-Dolphins not being close, but this one, I think it's very clearly showing it's going to be close. Weeks around the middle now with the high bounce. 36-34 winners last week, the Canberra Raiders. Of course, we streamed that game. Wasn't exactly the best from the Rabbitohs in the first half, but they dominated the second. Raiders were very lucky to get away with a win. They don't want to fall off versus the Storm here. And Bruce Stewart. And on the crazy run, Joseph Tarpany finds the tackle on the left edge now. They keep stepping. They keep going. Here's a bomb high for Sua Farlogo there. Evening, Legends. Evening, Jason Rito. Welcome to the stream. If Bulldogs beat anyone, can expect the Dargans. Agree. Dargans. But they're going to get a shocking win eventually, Dargans. It's just about where they do it. Unless they're that bad. Storm 1-12 says Jason Rita. I'm just hoping the Panthers can handle the heat in Darwin. Fingers crossed, bro. Looking forward to versus West Knights on Sunday. Won't be able to stream that, of course, but yeah, going to be a good game. Storm. Held on 35. 4th tackle here. Munster. And it's a knock on there from Melbourne. It's play on here with Joseph Tarpany, who is going to go out. So it's not going to be play on. It's going to be Raiders ball on the halfway. And that's a huge letdown there for the Storm there. An odd error here from their number 4, Watar. At full stretch, Jed Stewart made the contact with him, and it was all the difference. And they'll be disappointed with that turnover right on halfway through the first half here. Sanders. Hudson Young here. We go over to the left edge now. Joe Chan with a heavy tackle here. Last year, Panthers had their worst run and made top 4. Exactly, John. Let's not completely rule out the Storm this year, but it's been a horrific start for them compared to what we know they're capable of and what we're used to from them. Sasagi, Raiders do knock it on. Storm will carry on. Nick Meaney here, running through. How far can he go here? He's playing his 100th NRL game for the Melbourne Storm. Round to the right with Folongo. Keeps stepping, just lets off. Oh, for Warbrick. Arms out here. Arm in mind. Pushes them off. And Raiders' biggest enemy isn't even Melbourne. It's themselves at the moment. No doubt they've looked better on the ball, but they've just wasted it at times. Imagine Dragons finish the season 18 wins, 6 losses. If that happened to Redekama, I think that I'd have to sell all my Para jerseys because it's not happening. It would be a world where I swap to the Dogs, which is never happening. Munster inside Canberra. Cooper Clark keeps crashing forward here. Cooper Clark, he wants one against Raiders, can't find it. Harry Grant, short run through. And it's a set restart. He spotted it. They were inside the 10. More pressure for Canberra. Full set. Melbourne to the right. And that right edge is completely messed up. Tomoko steps in with high defense. There were questions around his future at Raiders as of late. He'll be happy at the very least with what's gone down there. Great tackle. Tarpany. De Hughes. Munster now out here. Are they going to pass it? No, they're not. Sami Sasagi one-on-one. 4th tackle, Munster. I'm surprised they didn't give 6 again. Hughes. Sua Folongo. Sebastian Chris. Will Warbrick now. And it's a try for Melbourne. They lead. But the referee ruins the party for Melbourne. Life's just so cruel for them here. And the referee has ruled, I think he's ruled a forward pass. Oh my God, poor Warbrick. And the Storm could have had one of the best comebacks of the first half in probably weeks, but no. Saw the face, couldn't resist. It's 12-10 now. And what a game. What a game this is. I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of this. What a game. Right to Sasagi on the right. And Farlongo with a play to Stewart. On the 20. Finds Mariota now. Just pushing them off here now. Starling to Hudson Young. The equivalent of Dragons doing that is the same chance of being president of the United States. Exactly. Exactly right, Redekama. I think you could bet anything on it not happening. Horsburgh. A fair dinkum offload there over to Strange. It's 4th tackle, sideways grabbing here. They wanted to make something of that play. And the Canberra Raiders held on the 40. Sanders is going to whack it to the left side now. To kick him out of trouble here, it's Folongo there. And looping around Warbrick here to the right. Warbrick, mate, he thought surely he had a moment there where he was about to do something. But no, it wasn't meant to be. No, sirree. Nick Meaney pushes off the marker here. Harry Grant. And they still are behind by 2 points, the Melbourne Storm. I'm just hoping, I'm hoping they can handle it. Stefano Utuwaikamanu. To Grant. To Munster. Cooper Clark. Cooper Clark, he's a big boy. He's like Cooper Cronk if he took things. Hughes. A very good kick in the air here. It's been a while since Munster scored. He challenges. And Loiero, quick on the defense there for the Storm. Now to the left with Sebastian Chris. While neither team has started the best this year, of course the Melbourne Storm they have that little extra bit of pressure of not only the expectations that are on them here as fourth tackle goes by, Legends, but also on top of that, they have the pressure of their fans who expect victory. You've seen it over the last couple of weeks. They are not doing very well at all, most of them. But I think they need a good result, at least to get back on side with their fans who are growing tired. And they're still in front, and Su'a collects the ball here, and he could have collected that easily a couple times, how much time he had. 15 minutes on the clock still. Jerome in the chat jumps in and says, Storms! Storms! Storms for the win. Is it just me, or do you remember we played a bit of 5-8-24? Of course I remember that, bro. No doubt. Pretty sure we would have streamed that a couple games with him. We've been streaming since 23, so yeah. Harry Grant to Hughes. Isn't he fine stepping around here? It's, oh my God, he keeps going. He keeps going. He's not held. He's not held. Back around Joe Chan here. Harry Grant. That edge is opening up. Oh no. Oh no. And Nick Meaney. It is 100 for Melbourne. Has a too easy try for Storm here. Untouched. It's 14-12 now. Storm comes back from 12 behind. On the spot here, it is milestone game for the Storm. And ever since that first 10, when a couple calls have finally gone their way, Melbourne are flying. And it's that halfback, Jerome Hughes, who just busts his way through the line, clearing them out easily. He just ate that up. Looks like the winger and center almost swapped places for that one too. Waiting on the kick here to make it 4 points. I can't believe we lost Vinny Alamotti. Oh my God, Rena Carmen, you could write a book on the players you've lost. You could write a book on the players you've lost. I mean, you missed out on the opportunity to have a peak Damien Cook. Yeah, not to say other teams haven't missed out on opportunities. Para could have had Daniel Tupou. But Para could have had a lot. Tigers could have had Pappenhausen, Tedesco, Mitchell Moses, Josh Adokar. They could have had Latrell. That came close to happening, but didn't quite. Pampers could have had Thurston. That's a talked about thing. Manly could have had Paul Gallen. I feel like history, it's really funny sometimes how different it could have been for players. Speaking of how history could be different, history could go either way in this game at the moment. 16-12 now. We overlooked Alamotti, Cook, and we let DWZ go, even Thurston as well. Yeah, man, yeah. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? That's actually an incredible kick from Nick Meaney. I have to give Nick Meaney some credit there. That is an incredible kick. Bravo, young man. Bravo. And this is an important next step here for the Storm. Will they be able to keep up the momentum, or will Raiders actually be able to do it? Yeah, Tigers have it so bad, it's ridiculous. They couldn't have because he wanted to go, but, he probably wouldn't have wanted to go if they had a better side. They could have kept Galvin. They probably never need to sign Luai, right? Or they even let go of Galvin because they have too good of a team, right? That's the insane thing about the team they could have had. Munster. They could have had Harry Grant and Appy Coruscant, but of course, Harry Grant was a little out of their control as he started as a loan. Here's Munster. To Hughes. To Fologo. Over to Howarth on the right here. He's under pressure. Howarth pulled down by Tomoko. Hughes goes high here. Kayo Weeks. Warbrick beats him to it, and I think Warbrick's lost it. Last tackle, handover over. Yeah, Warbrick knocks it on into Weeks. Absolutely, he's going to be an absolute bowler. I actually agree with that take, Redekama. The only problem he faces is that he's being played out of position. He's already a bowler, but he'll be an insane bowler in a couple of years. He's, the more years you play him at halfback, the more he'll understand that spot. Tarpanay. I think people are too used to halves just instantly clicking with it. I feel like some of the best halves in our game don't become their best till they're in their mid-20s to late 20s. I think people forget sometimes that, Nathan Cleary wasn't exactly a 19-year-old wonder kid that came through and was the best player of all time to a lot of NRL fans instantly overnight. Absolutely not. That doesn't happen, right? It takes time for things to happen. Suafalogo tears them apart, but luckily Hudson Young is just absolutely built and gets him down. Why did I say bowler? This isn't basketball. It's close enough, man. Absolute bowler. What are you going to call him? Rella, rugby fella. 50 games at 20 years old is insane. Oh, yeah, he's if he doesn't pick up injuries, he's going to be one of the all-times when it comes to appearance holds. Liero to Hughes through the middle here. Munster was going to Flins, I think. Yeah, Munster was going to Flins. That's another one. Yeah, there's a ton of what ifs that probably change rugby league history. Oh, this Storm team without Munster scares me. This Storm team without Munster. Kayo Weeks. They probably have Peasant in their halves, and Para never get Peasant, right? Or at least Peasant maybe goes to bench. I think Peasant's closer to the lineup if Munster isn't there. And it's 6 again for the Raiders. Storm lose their cool here. Suafalogo is limping here. Oh, yeah. I reckon you'll find out that Falogo's out for a week or two after this game. He's playing through it for now. Imagine Katoa and Munster together. That's a beautiful pairing. That's probably the closest we'd ever get to Cleary and Katoa's got so much potential. That's the closest we'd get to Cleary and our boy, Munster. Like Cleary and Munster. Katoa Munster. It's gonna be as close as we get. Sanders to Strange, kicks through here to Grubber, Munster through, and he gets KO'd by Ethan Strange. Hello, TJC Sports. Hello, George. Welcome to the stream. I feel like Cleary on Rabbitohs is the weirdest thing you would see. Oh, that just feels wrong. That just feels wrong. Never in a million years, please. Also, don't let me think about Cleary going to Payne Haas. Thank you. No. Harry to McDonald's. McDonald on the right now. The last 2 sets, it's been a back and forth battle at the moment. It's going to be a month if he keeps going and makes it worse if he's not careful. Absolutely, Angus. Absolutely. I feel like sometimes you've just got to accept your injury and go, but I also think that they're maybe worried about where do they go. For me, where they go is that it's quite simple. They move either Nick Meaney or Munster to fullback. It's not that tough to really think about, guys. Pretty much changing between Dolphins versus Panthers. Awesome, George. Let us know the predictions. Corey Horsburgh, one of the hardest workers tonight for the Raiders. We go to Tomoko. Don't forget to like and sub if you haven't already, legends, and welcome to this awesome channel. Thank you very much. That's from our favorite mod, Mel, in the chat here. For her, let's give it up the Waz. Back for, or is it Waz to the world now or something? My brain always goes mushy about modern. Raiders Stormer in the play of the ruck there, and it's 6 more on the first tackle here. Corey Horsburgh. I don't know what he was doing staying in the ruck there. Sean Blaw, the former West Tiger. Starling to Sanders. Hudson Young on the left edge here. Number 16. Wants the ball. He doesn't get it. Sanders to Strange. It's even to Sasagi. Sasagi with great judgment to hold it there. Horsburgh. Off his left. Finds the offload. Sasagi takes off with it here. And now has to play the ball. Tom Starling. Over to Weeks. Through the left. They lose it. Into the Storm player. That's a knock on from Canberra. First knock on Canberra. We've got 6 minutes to go in the first half. Honestly, if you're Raiders, you might take it being 16-12 at halftime and go back to the board for a better start in the second, right? At the very least, what you want to do is keep your defense together. Put it this way, for this first half, if I was the Raiders, I'd rather not concede any more points than score any more points at this moment in time. It's back. It's back to Up the Wires, No Surrender, new team song. Let's go, Mel. I'm not always familiar with all the updates all the time, as I don't live in New Zealand. But we got our local updater there. Let's go, Up the Wires, No Surrender. What? So it's not sure what we can do, all the things we can do in our body. We believe that we can still do one. It's just a matter of faith. It's not that anymore. Sean Bloor on the left edge gets to the 40. Harry Grant to Loiero. Pass they go here, Canberra. It's another 6 again. They were in the 10, and that was so unnecessary. I don't know what they were thinking there. Bit of a brain explosion, and that could be a penalty. It's not! It's just going to be a drop ball. It's going to be a drop ball. McDonald can't believe it. Harry Grant pointed straight at the ref like he wanted to challenge it. That's actually interesting because McDonald said that he just flat out knocked it on. Harry Grant is screaming that he didn't. It seems that the forward thinks differently about his own play to his captain. I think they're going to... They might say here supporting the on-field decision. Surely they go with support on-field decision. I don't think you can say either way here. Look at that for once, legends. You know how they say never trust a forward? Well, Harry Grant took that too literally. When the forward says he knocked it on and Harry goes, I know the rules, bro. I know the rules, Alec. I know the rules. Never trust a forward. You're saying you didn't knock it on, that you knocked it on. So you mustn't have. Time to challenge. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Correct decision. Supporting the on-field. Challenging conclusive. The call's going to be considered correct. Oh, Harry, you took it way too literally, my boy. They're lucky that they keep the challenge there because, honestly, he could have easily lost that there. I think Alec was telling the truth. Why would he lie about dropping the ball, right? If you were down by 4 points at the 30-meter line at 20 seconds, would you go for 2 or go for a try? That's a good question. You'd probably... I might go for 2. Not going to lie to you. If it's 20 seconds and we look like we're not going to break through, right? I might go for 2, genuinely. And that sounds stupid. But that's a very unique hypothetical you've given me. That's not exactly your typical scenario. Like, yeah, just going straight for the try is good and all. But if I've still got an entire other half, there's 20 seconds on the clock. The Storm are still a solidly defensive team, at least when they only need to take a few tackles. I genuinely feel like you could call it not backing yourself, but I probably would go for 2, make it only 2 a difference heading into halftime. Give us a bit of momentum heading into the next. On the last, Hudson Young runs and gets away to Weeks. Here's Kayo Weeks kicking it here. Sua Folongo, the Raiders chasing Folongo, and it's going to be a dropout here. I don't know why Hosking had to get involved. And it's Noah Martin who put the pressure doing so here. Honestly, I think it's fair too, Riddick. Like, right? I'm taking what you are seriously. Hey, when I think about it, like I'm thinking I'm in a game. It's do or die. Second half isn't on yet. If it was the second half and we're down, absolutely last 20 you go for the try, right? But like that's a no-brainer. You got to use your logic. You got to back yourself for the next 40. If anything, I'm showing myself confidence that I'm going to do something in the second half. Look at the angle in their favour, Horsburgh. Honestly, this is one of the greats. Like, this is one of the games of the round. If they manage to get a try here, and we're at 16 all at halftime. Tom Starling. It's only third tackle here. Weeks, Kayo Weeks. Wow, Kayo Weeks. Hello, sunshine. They're going to have to review this. I thought that may have come off his arm at some point. The referee, what will he call? He calls no try. I thought so myself. He's saying came off his leg. We're going to wait and see, legends. The referee's got a big call ahead of himself. I'm hesitant to give this one yet, just purely on the basis that I believe that he's hit it forward with his arm. But if he's connected with the boot, he does. He looked confident when he went down, but I think he's trying to sell it. Could they rule that it's a... Ooh. Harry Grant definitely pulls him. Harry Grant definitely makes contact with him without the ball. Oh, do you hear the crowd? Sounds like the refs. Look, can you hear it? The crowd wants him off. The crowd wants him off. Let's see. Will the ref give in to peer pressure? Could it have been a Raiders penalty is the conclusion you come to? They're just going to say scrum here. I'm in shock. I don't know. For me, I think Harry is stopping him. I do think Harry's stopping him. I do. He's grabbing him without the ball. Absolutely. So this is two. You know what? I'm calling it now. Canberra, you've had two extremely controversial no tries in this game. Extremely controversial no tries. And for different reasons. The first try you scored is probably your most relevant as a try, but like overall, you've had two really sketchy calls against yourselves. And I feel for you. Hetherington with the ball, just shoved backwards here. Some of it is, who are we? Boys say, Warriors. Then says up. Boys say, the Waz, no retreat. Boys sing, no surrender. I love it. I love that. Unfortunately, Para don't play the Warriors in New Zealand this year, but I'd love to see that when I go to New Zealand for another one, because I love going to New Zealand when I get to see family. You know, I love the New Zealand trip. Like, it's always devastating when Para don't play in New Zealand, so... Can Harry Grant just stop milking those penalties, man? It should have been a penalty, that. That should have been a penalty. Harry Grant is clearly grabbing him without the ball. I don't think penalty try, but I think penalty is at the very least a shout for it. Round to the left, Tom Starling. Like, my question to you is, right, is there a way to say that he doesn't collect that ball if he's not being held back by Harry Grant? Sanders to Strange with Noah Martin. Last tackle here on the 5th. Set up with a big shift here. Back to the left here. Sanders with that kick that way. Tomoko goes to Hosking. Long for Tomoko here. Kicks, takes a deflection on the ground here. Picked up by Storm. Warbrick down he goes. And we're almost at halftime here, legends. Remember, we're one of the only channels, one of like 2 or 3 that stick around during halftime. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and feel free to ask questions and talk about the game in the chat here. This is your perfect point to have a proper talk with your boy TJC as we chill at halftime, waiting for the second half of our first of 2 tonight. That's right, 2 tonight. You get to look forward to Storm. You get to look forward to Dolphins and Panthers in the next game. Joe Chan on the right. Fifth tackle now. 21 metres gained here. Hughes sends it short side to Sewer for long. Oh, he's taken. We'll change it over. And I think that's going to be half time. I don't think they're going to let the Raiders have a play here. No, they are. Raiders will get one play. I'm not sure what Hudson Young's doing. Anybody ask what Hudson's doing? Because I don't know. I don't think he knew what was happening there. And there we go. 4 points down at our time. The Canberra Raiders. And I hear boos, but I don't think it's against the Raiders. I think it's against the Storm for the calls or the ref. TJC Sports, it's time. Welcome to the TJC Sports Halftime Show. We have your host, TJC Sports, who's just going to take off his headphones for a second because he does not want to deal with that whistle again. I'm not an original person to that being a frustrating thing, but I don't like it. I don't like that whistling ad. Don't like it. It irritates me when a game's not going how people want it and that thing plays. Raiders ripped off, calling it now. So far, absolutely they've been ripped off. Absolutely they've been ripped off. Shit. Hughes, not go your way. You've had... If the right calls had been made against you, Jerome, it's two extra tries against you. You're behind at halftime if calls don't go your way. Don't be going on about calls not going your way, brother. Goodness me. Angus says it's time. Heck yeah, bro. Why are Raiders doing their best impression of Arsenal? I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly, this is kind of Arsenal-esque, isn't it, this play? Who would be the... Para would be the Spurs, God. Yeah. The Arsenal, Spurs, Storm, Para. I love that. Only, Storm actually can get over the line sometimes, unlike Arsenal. Can we talk about how Waz whipped the Storm last week and that's a no-go? Yeah, that's a no-go. Honestly, no. We're not going to get into that too much, but oh my God, that was so epic last stream, guys. Because yes, our last stream was between the Storm and the Warriors, and when I tell you that was one of my favorite games in a long time to stream from Amy Park, it was one of my favorites. Like you thought Broncos Storm was a good game, that game absolutely ate it up for breakfast and put it out on a fine. Defined appearance in the toilet bowl. It was incredible. Great half there, says Ridikama. Great half. Hugh sounds like a whining Aussie, my God. I know. The Kiwi sounds like a whining Aussie. Excuse me, Jerome, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't, brother. Absolutely. If calls go the right way, I'm sorry, Jerome, but you're behind at halftime. And I say this liking Jerome. It's ridiculous. I think South would be Man United. Probably, Angus. Probably in terms of the similar winning and the similar song and all that, right? City Penrith, says Charlie Helton. Yeah, I actually do agree with that. I think City Penrith is actually a pretty good comparison. If we're being honest. Especially on current days. Maybe not in terms of completes. Maybe not in terms of like natural historical form from like all the way back to this, the 80s. But like as of current era, absolutely they're the Man City. I mean, if you actually look at their record historically too, they kind of are similar to City in the modern day. West Ham would be the Knights. Sorry, my bad, legends. West Ham would be the Knights. Goodness me, brother. You know what? That's true. The only difference is that Knights are nowhere near the bottom yet. West Ham, though, fingers crossed for the Knights fingers crossed, though, right? That the West Ham next year can become the Knights, right? How the Knights have done this year. Hopefully they don't do a West Ham and start well and end poor. Like really poor. They both done 4 in a row at the exact same time. The exact same time, Charlie. The exact same time. Yeah, they're the modern equivalent, right, Charlie? I think that's what you'd go with. They're the modern equivalent to each other. There's no doubt about that at all. Absolutely, legend. And at halftime here, 52% of you are still tipping the Raiders to win, with 32% going with Storm. A draw is at 3%. Do not rule out a draw potentially in this game. Do not rule it out. And 12% of you are just here to enjoy the stream. Appreciate 12% of you. Appreciate you all, but that 12% is great. Will Tigers make the top 4? I would actually love Tigers to make finals and do really well this season. I would too. I was just disappointed with some of their fans at the Eels game. But, overall as a club, it would be cool to see the Tigers finally play finals again, right? All records are there to be beaten. Bloody hell, geezer. I felt like you kept twisting the blade in on them. Mate, I'll twist it as much as I need to, bro. It's never coming out, bro. Well, actually, it will come out eventually, but there'll be nothing left because of how much I've twisted. I actually would love it. Who wins the AFL Sydney Derby tonight, Sydney or GWS? Let's go. Let's go, Sydney! I'm starting to dislike Tigers, and I don't want to, says Ridicama, all because of that win against us last year. Why dislike them? I don't dislike them at all. Oh, you're asking Ridicama, probably. My bad. I don't dislike them at all. I've just, their fans can be a bit frustrating sometimes, but, their team's been through a lot, so good on them for continuing to support them. That's the origin of some people not liking teams when they beat them. It's the origin of why dogs don't... It's a big reason outside of code why dogs don't like para. Because we took a lot of what could have been their glory era in the 80s. Oh, very glad they're doing well. Very glad. Their fans have been through a lot. Good on them. Credit where it's due there. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the year unfolds for them. But so far, they've been one of the best starters, and they can be proud of that as a team. Curious how I can fix that. Maybe if I do that, that's good. That's good. Now, okay, the wire of my headset isn't going into my face as much, which is, not exactly fun. It's not exactly fun. To be honest, I don't like Luai and friends, but the rest of the team I respect. I don't like Taruba and Luai, but that's just my personal thoughts. That's not a personal hate on anyone, I don't know any of the Tigers boys as blokes, necessarily. So that's a complete opinion piece. I can't stand Luai, but I ignore him. You pretend Luai just isn't there, right? He's not there. He doesn't exist. Jerome who? Who's this random guy that's coming in to play with the Tigers in the final game tomorrow? Who is that? Who's Luai? Where's Jock Madden? Who's Luai? I've never heard of this bloke. He can't even get to a barber, it looks like. What's he doing on the field? Get him out. Get him out. I need more Alex Twirls in the team. I need more Alex Twirls. 12 for the win. And where's Bunty when you need him? Where's Bunty? I want Bunty on the field. 20's not good enough. He needs to be on the bench. Get Bunty in there. Get another Twirl in there. Who even is Luai? Jerome Puai, more like. Ho 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 ho. And honestly, we're the Canberra Raiders. Look, it's hard to be too harsh on Canberra because of the fact that they did have 2 highly suspect disallowed tries. But they did get lucky too with Storm getting a forward pass called, which they never usually call those. And on top of that, the Raiders have had multiple chances in that 10 where they've messed it up too, not including their disallowed tries. So, look, there's a piece of it that's on them 100%, no doubt about that. They can't exactly call that they were completely stopped from winning this game. But what can be said is that not every decision's gone their way, that they probably should be doing a bit more, right? Neither team has started all that well, though. And the Melbourne Storm are deservingly in the bottom 5. Raiders are deservingly in the bottom 4 right now. Are they? Actually, no, I think that's actually changed. I think I've just dated myself, haven't I? No, they are in the bottom 4. They're 15. Doi. They're below the Titans. Can you believe that? That's not the live ladder. I'm sure that's going to change after this match if they win. But Raiders will overtake the Storm if they win this one. Put Melbourne in bottom 4. Let's see how low they can go from there, though, right? Don't count out the Storm, though. If there's a hard team when you're at home to come back and win against, it is definitely the Melbourne Storm. Canberra have their work cut out for them. This second half is going to get very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Mel says, what position does Anderson play? Centre or wing, legend? He plays both, Mel, actually. He's not particularly a centre or a winger. He's played both pretty frequently throughout his career. You could probably play him in either position, Mel, and he's going to get the job done. All right, he's a solid player. He's no X factor, but I describe him as a player where when he's at his best, he can provide something to a team. You know, maybe he needs a team like the Warriors to unlock his full potential. I mean, what I'm saying about him is pretty much what I told you about Tanner Boyd, only I said Tanner Boyd's a really good kicker. And look how good Tanner Boyd's doing for you. Tyler Parrott, Eels Legends are having gala dinner tonight. They are, Liam. They are. Shout out to that. I hope that those there enjoy that. I am here with you, Legends. And what better of a dinner greeting is that, being with you folks? I've honestly I've been lucky enough the last couple of weeks to meet a few people from the golden era. If you've been looking at my Insta stories and watching the vlogs, you would know this, Legends. Genuinely quite a privilege to be able to meet such people, you know, even if it's brief. Like, for me personally, well, yeah, I talk so casually about, you know, the current boys and stuff. You know, for those people, even up to like the 2010s, it's like, I'm like, oh my God, you know, like I kind of lose speech. I kind of fail in my ability to be able to talk. Like my brain kind of goes into a mode where it's like, you know, you can hear the cogs slowing down on it, but that's because, you know, you go from like talking to these guys that I think I mentally block out as just blokes, right? And then you go to these people that were literally, you know, childhood. Like, I know that they were before my time, but idols. They're the history of the club that I love and have dedicated a piece of my life to, you know? So, you know, who knows who comes next? Shout to David Lydiard and Steve Ella. Shout out to them. David Lydiard and Steve Ella. And, of course, Brett Kenny, the GOAT, should be an immortal. Thought so, Legend. Yeah, he's not spectacular, but he's got potential to excel. Exactly, Mel. Exactly. That's pretty much what I was trying to say. Yeah, he's got potential to excel. He's not spectacular, but he's got that potential to excel, just like Tanner Boyd did. You know, exactly right. Tanner's been amazing. Always loved him, even when he was at the Titans. Go, 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 Coast Titans. Oh, yeah, no, Tanner Boyd, man. Well, I always liked him at Titans, but he never got to the level that he was at the Warriors. Like, he had some good kicking days for Titans, but he never got to show his best ability, I don't think. And that's not completely on him. That's also on the Titans, right? Like, the Titans never gave him that opportunity to show what he can do. So, you know, credit where it is to Tanner for going around and doing his thing. Gee, when you laugh. I'm a bit of a Tanner Boyd. I'm a JT, honestly. No, I'm not a TJ. I'm not a JT. I'm a TJ. Thank you. C. A TJC. Thank you very much. Not a JT. Honestly, you know what? If my life gets compared to Thurston, that's fine. That's fine. That's the Queenslander. That's the Queenslander, bruh. That's what's doing it. The Queensland in me. He also gives hell of a guy vibe to him. I like that. I have not heard that term, but I love that term, Mel. Hell of a guy vibe. Yeah. Tanner Boyd gives me that vibe too. I'm hoping one day, he's one of the few players out there where I probably chuck away everything to get down and get a photo. You know what? That might be a mission of ours, legends. If Tanner Boyd goes over to the fans, you better believe I'm crashing through to try and get a photo with him. Anyways, here we go. The end of the halftime show. Hello, second half. How you doing? It's nice to meet ya. I hope you've been well. Let's enjoy the show. Absolutely swell. Canberra Raiders with the ball. Josh Papali'i into the line. Held on the 15 here on the second half. Gets it to the right with Noah Martin. Smartin starting Martin. Where we get that nickname from? Liam started Martin, who's playing in the next game versus the Dolphins. Fins up. And the Raiders with some simple plays to open up. Good defense from the Storm here on the 40. They're going to clear it on the left to Sua Fa'alogo here. Sua Fa'alogo, a bit of limping in his game here. He's been able to shake an ankle injury to continue in the game, but who knows when that becomes too much and he's injured. Get him, Raiders, says Mel. Go get him. Go get him, Mel says. Finish them. End their lives. Harry Grant. Tamini. We've definitely seen Storm at some of the lowest ever so far. I think the player that Tigers fans is looking forward to seeing is Bank Fence Bunty. Bank Fence Bunty, bruh. We got a hotline here for Hughes. Ring-a-ding-ding-ding. This just in. He might have a try. No, he won't. But we'll have one for Munster. No, he won't. Intercepts Sasagi. Sasagi to the right. Here he comes. 40. Halfway. Joe Chan trying to catch him. 30. 20. Comes around here, and just behind the 20, he's held. Trouble to the left. They go right. I think the players that every Tigers fan is looking forward to seeing play is back fence Bundy. We all want back fence Bunty for the win, bruh. Hudson Young. Hopefully, we see a late change where he can get in. Big play, Sasagi. Down the northern end of GIO Stadium. 3 tackles left. Mariotta. After Mariotta. Bit happening in the second half. Starling to Sanders. And just take the tackle, Strange. You don't want to be accused of an obstruction. Impeded the Storm defender. Last play, Sanders. Sebastian Chris to Weeks. Back in field. Still the last for Hudson Young, who kicks low now. Suapalogo. Oh, he couldn't keep his footing. Part of that's probably the ankle, and out he goes. And well, Simi Sasagi, what a player he is. Thanks to him, this play was just, oh my God, from potential try for Storm to Canberra Raiders run. Sasagi probably could have gone if Storm weren't so solid in the defense there. An enormous play there. Cameron Munster. Back fence Bunty. Bunty Afoa, mate. He's just a goat. He's just a goat. Bunty Afoa. Melbourne Storm holding them back here. Just run through the middle and fend them off. That's what I do in Rugby League 26 and it works. Why aren't you doing that, Raiders? A pivotal moment in this contest. Weeks. Young. This is a shot for power to Starling. Finds Sanders with the line back to Hudson Young. Hudson Young dummies. Smithies and Sanders. Sasagi now alone. And now it's a try for Ethan Strange. Canberra are back. Now Sasagi says, you can have a try. You gave me one. Here you go. And it's 16-all. A try reminiscent of the one that we got to open up the game. Canberra Raiders against the Melbourne Storm. It's 16-all. We were kicked to Kayo. And this is why it's important to convert the twos. Because the Raiders have a prime opportunity here. Almost too simple. The wing is caught off guard there. And they had no idea how to react. I think Raiders are going to snatch a lucky W. They just might. They just might, John. That's just how he is, Mel. That's just how he is. He's just back fence Bunty. Why not? Tyler, in the 80s, that was a great era for Eels. It was, Liam. It was, Liam. And this has just been career best form here from Sasagi. I don't think Sasagi will be better than how he's playing. You know, I think he's at his best right now. Raiders are getting the best out of him. Let's go Raiders, says Mel in the chat now. In Rugby League 26, I used to just sidestep, but now I just bump them off and chip over the top. Angus, that's exactly how you do it in Rugby League 26. That's just how you do it. You know, it's like, Mel, why do I call Tom Dearden my king of Queensland? Why not? Sanders and after hyping up the two, they lose that advantage that they had. The Canberra Raiders off the post, lighting up like a Christmas tree to it. There was nothing to be made. Thought there was an actual explanation for the name. I think the explanation is that he's the king. He's the great Queensland player. But for Bunty, I think the answer is that kind of the same. He's the closest to a meme now that Luke Brooks has gone, right? We need a player of that greatness. Bunty Afoa is your boy. Smithies now. And that's right, you're not reading this score wrong. It is now 16-all. And we got a Raider staying down now. Just a reminder, Joe Tarpany, Josh Papali'i are out of the game at the moment. One's got a cast around him, one's got though the cast looks precautionary, and an ice pack. So, got my hopes up. Don't worry, I got my hopes up versus Titans. We know what happened there. Storm drop goal, says John. They drop goal, baby. They drop goal. We're not even 10 minutes into the second half here. Atta Mariotta clambers into the line there. Joe Chan. One more tackle left in the set. Smithies just surrenders himself to the line. Playing the ball here. Jack's told to go back to marker with Folongo here with the ball. And Sewer stopped by Hosking and Strange. Kia ora, everyone. Let's go. Just crashing through the middle now. And Jack Howarth off them now. Hughes, plenty of running here in this one now. He's a threat tonight. This is, of course, their 56 time these two teams have played against each other. Storm overall in history dominate that record 38-17, but that could change to 38-18 if the Raiders win here. It is all square at the moment, so we don't have a winner as it stands. Weeks shows great confidence in the air to get the ball here, and now the Raiders crash through the line. You know, and as I was speaking before this game, I didn't get into it too much, but discipline was always going to be a big factor in this game at the moment. They're kind of even on it. The Melbourne Storm, they don't want to give it away to Raiders. Sebastian Chris down the left edge now. Chris almost through. You know, if Raiders can control the ball tonight, which they have somewhat, the only times when they've given Storm a chance in the game have been when they haven't been able to control it. But if they can control it, Storm are in for a rough result. To the right. But I'm saying you exit my brew. You got you, my brew. Onto the right here with Sanders. Plenty of chase for Longo. It's not really a contest there. Strange with it. A great kick back to Moko. Back into the side tonight after Tamale volunteered a dropping. It's not every day you hear about that happening. The Melbourne outside backs with it. Harry Grant gets it off to Will Warbrick. Hosking against Starling and Mariotta now. Kia ora, kia ora. Big moment coming up, my boys. Melbourne Storm Hughes, they're going to run it on the right here. It's away from him to Joe Chan. Is that a knock on? The referee rules that it went forward here. Joe Chan getting a little too ambitious for his own good. To be honest, I can't decide either team I can't see either side want to get more. Best defensive fatigue will decide the winner. It really depends, mate. It really depends. I think this game, all it is one slip up and the game's somebody's, right? I don't think there's actually somebody where you go, yes, that's the one. That's the man. That team's winning. Right there, guaranteed. Doesn't it? But I'm saying you exit, my bro. Cheers, man. Noah started, Smarton, Martin. On the right here, we go to Strange here. And here's Sasungi in career best form. Nearly breaks through the whole Storm defense there. On the third tackle. And it's Starling. Over to the left with Weeks. Sanders. Over to Matt to Smoko. Matt to Smoko. He's going. He's going. He's tackled. He's tackled right in front of the try line here. Hudson Young. Sanders to Starling. Noah Martin. Matane. That is a huge tackle. Starling finds Hosking, gives it straight to Tomoko, and Matt Tomoko is over! Raiders lead again! He's officially a try scorer in 26. He's loving it tonight. 2016. 2016, baby. Back at it. And it's not Sasungi doing the difference, but none other than Matt Smoko smoking out the competition. And it's just a few nights ago that people were certain he was on his way out. And he does that. Has he just put his name on a couple watch lists? Maybe instead of just being considered, it's now got a big red circle around it as your man to get. Matthew Tersmoko. Bro, close enough to bro. It is close enough, Mel. It is close enough. Bro. Hey, bro. What's up, bro? Like, even that goes into my language, so I don't even live in New Zealand. Like, it's just how it is. It's how you talk. It's how you do things. My brew is completely acceptable to my brew. My brew. Welcome back, Steve Cohen. Hi, Mel. Do you think Warriors win the grand final? Hello, hello, hello. It's TJC. Welcome back to another Let's Watch video. It's Sanders who straightens this one here. It's 22-16. Imagine if they got that too earlier for an 8-point lead. 22-16. And this is a massive bounce back in the team today for Matt Tomoko. Up the brew, Mel. Up the brew, Tomoko. Our brew. This is the story of Melbourne's season so far. They play well in the first half, and then in the second, they give up. They're essentially the opposite to Broncos, which is ironic because the Broncos beat them in the grand final. Isn't that funny, legends? The Broncos essentially hit the reverse card on them. Ridiculous. 27 minutes and 38 seconds on the clock at the moment. It's been a game of big moments tonight. Adi Tomoko with the options to Tapane. And Tapane gets around the ball here. Starling will look to get the hook on the left. Well, let's hope. Back to Starling. Morgan Smithy's here now. Feels like the Raiders are putting a lot of one-way traffic on them. What team do you go for? The Parramatta Eels, brother. Now to the right. We do match day vlogs every week for the Parramatta Eels, pretty much. That's why we don't stream on the Para game days, which means no streams on Sunday. And tomorrow I've got some stuff going on. So unfortunately your boy won't be available tomorrow. We're going to try and do the Broncos-Tigers game, Legend. Maybe the middle game. Depends on the timing of the junior games and when, where I'm going and where they end. But, yeah, the first game's 100% off the table. So you won't see me for the Tanner Boyd Cup, unfortunately. Might not see me for Rabbitohs Dragons either, but we'll see, Legends. Anyways, you've got the next game to enjoy at the very least, eh? And on the left here, nearly Folongo slips past Ethan Strange, and he stays down here, and it's a high kick on the left. It's allowed to bounce here, and Weeks gets the ball with the long pass. Very kind here. Hudson Young takes them on here. Flick passes now to Sebastian Chris. Chris stepping away, gets away, keeps going. He keeps going through the middle. Sebastian Chris, down he goes. This could go to Golden Point 100%. W. Appreciate you, Steve. Appreciate you. To the right here now with Jed Stewart. Well done, Raiders and Kiwi Centre, 100%. Where are you from? I'm from Victoria, Legends. I'm a very unique character. Victorian, raised to support Queensland due to the state rivalry and all that, and family members supporting that, and also raised to support Para because that's where half our family's from as well. So there you go. There's your debrief on TJC. Canberra here. Hey, shout out to you, Steve. How's that treating you? It's a good kick from the middle here for the Raiders, and it was a player taken out for a penalty, I think. Yeah, the referee blows for it. Penalty, Legends. Canberra here. That's awesome, Steve. Genuinely, bro. What's it like living there? I've been there a couple times. It's such an interesting place to navigate when you don't live there. I'm interested to know like how easy it is to read if you live there. Canberra Raiders did very amazing. Mate, it's been a great match from them, 100%. Oh my God, just go off for Logo. I know, Angus. Just go off for Logo. Like, oh my God, I know that you back yourself as their best option to win this, but you're just going to pull yourself out for longer for them, which is worse for them. And it looks like Raiders, Legends, not to concern the Storm, but it looks like Raiders want to go up by 2 and have that 8-point cushion. So big kick here for Canberra. Oh, what's it like? What was it like being from Canberra, bro? Like, what's it like living there, man? Canberra's a interesting place to visit, so I can only imagine what it's like to be very familiar with it. All I know is the general area around towards the stadium, which, by the way, isn't even exactly in Canberra. It's around Canberra, right? Sanders now. From in front here. He's got it. It's 8 points. It's an 8-point gap. The Raiders lead by 8 points. Don't become the Faders. For the love of God, do not become the Faders. This is not a drill. This could be the first time in 14 years they've lost 5 in a row, the Storm. 24-16, Legends. It's really nice. Oh, no doubt it's really nice. No doubt it's really nice, Legend. 100%. The Moles are massive. Haven't really been to the Moles from memory, but that's cool to know. Might have to properly go to one eventually instead of just casually skimming around for a day, right? At some point. Storm discipline is letting them down. Exactly, John. Well, I said whoever can control the ball and has and maintains their discipline better is going to win. Canberra. Through the middle they go. We find Joseph Tapine now. Tapine, he lifts up with speed now. Back onto the field. 2 try assists last week. Back over to Smithies. Genuinely can't wait for the next game between the Dolphins and the Panthers. I think we're in for a fun one there. Starling to Mariota. What a game. Still only in his mid-20s. High from Sanders this time. Ends up with Warbrick now. Will Warbrick thinking time. Held by the hand. How often do you get tackled by the hand? Not often. And back he goes. Storm, Canberra muscling up defensively here. Storm getting held back behind that 20. 21 minutes still on the clock to go till the second. It's amazing. The skate parks are good for the fish. The fishing areas are good. That's great, Legend. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm just interested in hearing about the place a bit more outside of what I know. Australia accents be like oi to almost every sentence. Absolutely. I guess oi, mate. Oi, mate. Hey. Well, I get that. G'day. You know, I mean, my opening every time is G'day, Legend! And that's why you have the 8 points, right? That's why you have the 8-point lead. For when Sebastian Chris decides that he doesn't want that ball. He looks at the ball, he took a paternity test, and when that's not mine, I don't want to hold it anymore. I'm out of its life. And it drops forward, completely lost. Sebastian Chris. And the Canberra Raiders, I don't know what you're laughing about, Hudson. I think you're about to concede 6 points. The Canberra Raiders are going to have to hold on in the defense. You want 50? I don't think this is a 50-point game at all, George, but I take it. Oh, yeah, I've been to GIO many times, Steve. I've been to Canberra multiple times. I just haven't been to everywhere in Canberra. I just want to hear from a local what it's like for you, being local in Canberra, because it's definitely a unique experience to be an away person. Teachers, he'd just be like, "G'day, Legend!" Did you TJC? I'm going to buy Earth. You got to buy Earth. Good for you. Finds Cooper Clark on the left. Third tackle. Halfway through the second half now. Canberra still has the lead even if they concede, but it's not a solid lead. And now with Hughes now. Hughes. Taken by Tapani through the middle. 2 left in the set. Harry Grant finds the service. You need it. Over to Josh King, back around, and Sasagi collects. The Raiders defend again. Hudson Young was laughing because he saw the future. He saw it. He's a fortune teller. He was telling Harry how he's not going to score. Weeks now to Sasagi. Is Suapolongo immortal or what? I don't know, man. I don't know. I think Suapolongo is just stubborn and doesn't want to get off, man. I think he needs to. This is where Bellamy should say it. How is it like in Victoria never been there? I feel like it'd be somewhat of an experience for away fans. I personally, all right, I'm going to admit as Victoria, you know, I don't think it would be the greatest away trip for rugby league fans in general. I mean, it is kind of like the third sibling, isn't it, of the states. I feel like Victoria is a very, like, them and New South Wales don't love each other. That's why it was so surreal going from New South Wales to Victoria. What I'll say about Victoria is that they say things differently, and you're going to have to live with that. AFL is number 1. You'll have to be near a Storm game to see them mention Storm, despite how good they are. Melbourne's not too bad. You just got to know where to go and what to enjoy. Like, it's got some all right setters. It's got good coffee, from my understanding, but I don't really drink coffee, so it doesn't benefit me, you know. Been to Perth? Not from memory. I think I've been to Adelaide. I don't think I've been to Perth, though. But even Adelaide, I think I was young. That's all good, Steve. Round the middle now. 18 minutes still on the clock. Feel free to ask a few more, but also feel free to save some for next stream's halftime, bro. Noah Martin. Melbourne are wasting their ball usage. Oh, mate, it's been an absolute fumble. Smithies. Goes through Sanders to Weeks to Tomoko on the outside here. Sebastian Chris finds Weeks again. Weeks dummies. Weeks keeps going back round. Hudson Young fends them off here. Gets over to the 20 now, and down he goes. They're 20 out. Chris to Starling. Over to Strange with Jed Stewart. Oh, he's got it. I think he's got it. I think that's some of the best acrobatics. 14 years. No. Oh, no. Ref, why? Ref, why? Why are you doing this, ref? Ref. What the heck? He calls forward. No. The Raiders arguing about it, but they can't do anything about it. They can't do anything about it. That's the call. You can't exactly challenge that. Who's your favorite player? Favorite player? My favorite current power play is probably my favorite current power play is probably Russell or Smith. My favorite outside of that player is probably surprisingly Dillbags. I love Dillbags because of my not just the New Zealand thing, but the whole he was very good to me while he was at Para, you know, so special. He's a special bloke to me outside of a player, just being a player. Munster. Round to Hughes. Oh, to the right. Gets it to Joe Cham. Being a Kiwi who lived in Oz for 14 years, Melbourne is pretty to look at, but cold. It's like big sister to Welly. Exactly, Mel. Exactly. You know what? That's a really funny thing about Sydney. Once you live in the cold of Melbourne for so long, you're just used to it, right? So when I see people in full coats while I've got a t-shirt and shorts on is hilarious to me. I don't really get cold in Sydney unless it's like actually in the Melbourne level weather. You know, I think it's also that we didn't have heating at some of my old places. So like it would get really cold in Melbourne, you know. I feel like I'm kind of adapted to it. Mine is Weeks. Oh, well, Weeks is a solid one, man. Good pick, Steve. Good pick. Glad to hear you like him as well. Raiders get the ball after the Storm mess up a kick here. Time is running out. 15 minutes on the clock here. They're losing the time to make up the difference. Weeks finds Sebastian Chris here on the left now. Sebastian Chris with the ball. Chris takes it back in Canberra over to Tarpany. Tarpany with it back to Smithy. Smithy's on the third now. They get to the 30. I got a strange feeling they're not going to score on this set unless they make a crazy breakaway of some sort. Mariotta down. We got a Mariotta down. We got a Mariotta down, folks. Strange. To Sasagi. Unless they make a big run. Sasagi! Sasagi to the halfway. Go to the milk, says Steve Cohen. I lived in Brisbane and Sydney, but I have to say Brisbane was unbearable in the summer. Unbearable. Unbearable. Because first I heard of you. That's all good, Steve. Good to have you in the chat, mate. The more the merrier. Well, Warbrick now. Another thing about Sydney siders is they always have the urge to ask someone where they went to school. True that, Gus. So true. Always. Meaty on the left. With some physical contact on the second by TV8 working. All good, Steve. Hughes to the right here. And the Storm with an error. Knock on here. And on the 40, the Canberra Raiders. What's going on here? Yeah, now Half knocks that on. That might be a bid, actually. Joe Chan is grabbed off the ball. It's literally Harry Grant-esque. Get him out. Out. 12 minutes left. They're not gonna tackle without the ball penalty, but no bid. And the game's slowly slipping away from Melbourne. I'm assuming the reason the ref doesn't want to bid him is because it's probably game over if he does. Round the middle. Wait, next stream I will watch you with you. Cheers, Steve. I appreciate that. Going to be good to see you there. It's Hosking against Melbourne here through the middle. And I'd hate to be the team playing Panthers next game. It's the Dolphins. Luckily for Dolphins, they are home. In 12 minutes, we'll be setting up for that stream where you're going to want to hop over there. Probably going to be about 10 minutes from... Probably going to be about a few minutes from going live when this stream's over for that one. And Canberra get another penalty. They're going for another 2. They're going to go for goal again here, Canberra. Nothing more than a push. That wasn't much at all. It was nothing more than a push, but it's enough in the modern game for a penalty from the Storm. Harry Grant having a chat with the ref about it. Here's a question. Harry's talking to the ref. Harry's talking to the ref a lot. Where's the Karen nickname for Harry Grant that you've all given Moses? Where's that nickname? He's literally doing the Mitchell. He's doing the Mitchell. Where's the warning for Harry Grant? Where's the warning? Sanders from the side now. Parent 250 bombs for the year. Now they really can't win the comp this year. Let's not talk about it, Gus. Let's not talk about it. We don't discuss that. A big moment here to make it a 10-point advantage. He's got it. He's got it. And this is a 10-point lead for the Raiders. The chances of the comeback lessening by the second. Melbourne Storm with a rough go here. Can you believe that with 10 minutes to go, Storm are 10 minutes and 10 points away from losing for the first time in 14 years, 5 in a row. Through the middle. Goes to Tomoko now. A few little steps now. Matt Tomoko off on the left here now to the 20 he goes. Uh-oh. Tomoko legends. His leg. Oh, gosh. Might just be a bit of a tight leg there for Tomoko. I think that they want to play on, so he'll play the ball instead. Right, so first Sua Falogo gets injured and won't go off. And now he ditches the headgear. He's doing stupid things, Angus. He's doing stupid things. He's being a muppet. He's being an absolute clown. He's being a silly goose. A silly, silly goose. Strange with a massive kick here for the Raiders. And it's going to go too deep. Sua Falogo, it's deep, and it just rolls down. He's lucky. He's so lucky there were chasers. Falogo back now, and Warbrick crashing in here, setting upon himself. The Storm, they need 2 tries in 8.5 minutes. Through the middle now, Joseph Tarpany, Harry Grant, over to Josh King. Still first tackle. He was thinking about the offload, couldn't find it. And it looks like Matt Tomoko's off for now. That's disappointing. Munster to Falogo. Terry with a sprint, a little bit of leg movement there. Down he goes third. Munster. Grant to Hughes. Over to Howarth here. Jack Howarth now. Howarth forward. Howarth takes the ball and goes around. Hughes. Grant to Stefano Utuai-Kamanu. Through the middle. Ball wrapped up by Horsburgh. Desperately Canberra hoping for a victory here. 5th tackle, exactly 8 minutes now. Warbrick contested in the air, and it's going to be just a tackle upon landing there. And it's a turnover here. Great awareness from the Canberra Raiders in the defense here to catch him out neatly. We keep going back out here Sebastian, Chris Wimmett. Don't forget, legends, as we chase our goal of 6K, make sure you hit that sub if you haven't yet. It confirms that your team is more likely to win the comp. We got a lot of Broncos fans last year, and they want it. Your chances are significantly increased here. As Jed Stewart on the right, he thought he may have gotten a big winner earlier before the pass was called forward. As we go to Horsburgh with Jaden Brayley, who's officially on the field. It's been a bit underwhelming since he replaced Owen Patty in the team, who's playing in the cup. Joseph Tapperty. 40 days to go till State of Origin kicks off, and even less than that till the girls kick off, Jason. Speaking of that, stay tuned, legends. I believe it's April 30th. The Blues girls and the Queensland girls, can't wait. We'll be live stream reacting to that like we did last year. Hughes plays to Warbrick now. And we would be streaming every type of Origin game. Like, I would be streaming the under-19s, but unfortunately I'm going to be in Melbourne celebrating my 21st as I go to game 2 of the men's first grade, so I won't be able to. Forlongo! On the left, this might be a try out for the Storm. Nick Meady's going to grab a double on his Storm 100. There he goes, Meady in. And it's now 20-26 here. The Raiders have to hold on for 6 minutes or change the script soon. And Melbourne just injecting some life through the middle of the field. Sua Forlongo. He won't let his ankle stop him here. Incredible run there. Pass from Cooper Clark. He had the speed. Martin tried to stop him but couldn't quite. Didn't have the extension on it. And once he drew in Weeks, he found the pass. And Nick Meady, what was Nick Meady supposed to do other than score a brilliant try there through the middle? And the Canberra crowd's going loud here tonight. They wanted to mess it up. They want it to be 6. And Meady now kicks 3 of 4 tonight. It's 22-26. Steve says Raiders are my favourite. Well, you're a Raiders local, of course, legend. Good to hear. Can I just say, I appreciate it, by the way, Steve. I hate it when people assume that, like, I was born in Parramatta because I'm from Paris. I appreciate you for asking where I'm from and wanting to know all that. Canberra desperately searching for their first home win. They need the results. They need the result tonight. So do Storm. Storm don't want to go bottom 4, but I think they're about to. They've got 5.5 minutes, though, to change that. And Bellamy will be desperate for his side to find another against the team that he played for in his playing career. Yes, look it up. Craig Bellamy was a Raiders player. And oh no! What are you doing? What are you doing, Canberra? Oh my God! Oh my God! Why don't you just throw some turkeys on the field to kick the ball? Why don't you? I'm sure they're going to cluck it harder than you're going to kick that ball. That went into the summer hemisphere. Bro, that was hitting the moon before it hit the inside of the field. Your boots are made of jelly. Your legs, they're fudge. You're getting torn apart there. And now you've just given a prime opportunity. It's a penalty. And the Storm now, when they're only trailing by 4. Goodness me. And what a way to start this here. What a way to start our Friday of round 7. Up the Storm, says Mickey. Munster. And Hughes here. And Chan wouldn't he love to score? The chance to go ahead with a try and a kick. They'll need to get the kick to go ahead, though. Remember that. Clark on the left edge here. One big Storm should be concerned about is how close it's come to that potentially being the case. Grant to Hughes. Hughes now to Joe Chan. Able to pull away from Sanders here. Up the Storm for this game. Let's go, mate. Hughes. Long for Hughes. And Hughes just goes down. He takes the tackle. 5th one now. They've got one more. Just one more in the ball play. It's with Wishart. Chips it towards Warbrick here. That's forward. That's 100% forward, sir. That's forward, sir. Ref, I'm in shock that you didn't roll forward there. That was 100% forward. Horsburgh collects. And I think the Raiders will just want to defend now. Remember, it doesn't matter how many times you bat it out as long as you're not conceding the points. Sasagi, 3 minutes still on the clock here. The Raiders with intense pressure on them here. Weeks. Update on Matt Tomoko. Don't worry, Legends. Apparently, major update. It's just a cramp in his calf. Matt Tomoko's fine, Legends. I'm sure that's a relief for a lot of you that were stressed as Raiders fans. And there are 3 important minutes coming up here for the Raiders and the Storm. Raiders put it over to the left here. Sanders with it. Falongo gets it. And again, it's Falongo. He's lost the ball. He's lost the ball. Hudson's running. He offloads. They've won it. Stewart, assuming that they don't give a penalty. Stewart's going to be going insane because Zach Hosking has just scored for the Raiders. And so up Falongo. It's 30-22 when a kick to come. All good. Nice meeting you, Steve. Look at a few things here. We're going to have to wait and see. But for now, it's 30-22. And the Storm have officially lost for the first time in 14 years, 5 straight. Let's try and see it. I think all that happened was a head clash and they played on. Hosking here forces his way over. The ref's got a big decision to make before keeping this try. Is it a possibility that Melbourne are going to miss the 8? Again, if they keep playing like this, it is a possibility, Legend. It is. It genuinely is. And I'd be stupid not to say that it is a possibility. Oh. They're making a call, Legends. They're going to say Hudson Young makes high contact and strip away the try. And that's a third try for the Raiders that has been stripped. It's 26-22 still. Ref, don't you do what I think you're going to do. Please, ref, just rule the penalty. Just rule the penalty. Don't do anything stupid. The ref gave me a bit of a scare the way they were zooming at him for a second. He's hard to handle for Longo. You can't really blame Hudson for messing up. And now Ricky Stewart's got a tough 2 minutes and a half ahead. It isn't as sealed as he wanted it to be. And when we're done with this stream, Legends, we're pretty much going to be jumping over straight to the Dolphins and the Panthers. So make sure you check that one out. Sua Falongo is officially off the field after playing most of the game here. Surely Falongo misses a week. Surely. This is one of the last opportunities Storm will have of the game. Harry Grant. They're on that 40. Pushing forward, it's Meany on the ground. Now Falongo goes off. Now he goes off. Now he goes off, Gus. Hughes. Here's Stefano. Back to Wishart. Wishart. Bears bound. Gets through the middle here. Harry Grant. Finds Munster. With Stefano Utuikamanu. Stefano Utuikamanu. Grant with Munster. Now it's Hughes. Howard with Warbrick on the inside here. It's fourth tackle. It came from Young. Hughes. Grant. And Wishart here. Off across the field. He finds himself in the middle. Fifth tackle. 1 minute 24 on the clock. 23, 22. Munster. The seconds are ticking by. It's back through. Howard offloads back for Warbrick. They tackle. That's incredible defense from Canberra. 1 minute 10 on the clock. Take a bow. Corey Horsburgh. Zach Hosking. Young. Melbourne are challenging now. Let's wait. Melbourne are desperate for the ball here. They're challenging a handover. They don't want to lose 5 straight. Oh, my God. How insane. How insane is this game? Friday night footy has never been better than the last couple weeks. I'm sorry, but they can't say that that's high. Incidental. Captain's challenge is unsuccessful, folks. Melbourne have lost it. They've got a minute and 6 seconds. And they're going to be praying that an error comes from somewhere. This is Raiders' game to lose from here on in. And Warbrick, who's been one of Melbourne's best, will feel a bit let down by that call here. Raiders take their time through the middle here. Understandably, the frustration would be real. 5 straight losses it would be for them. Who would have thought we'd be watching something like this in our time? For Tarpany, there's 3 players in the tackle. They could be trying to force an error. That's a strip. That's a strip. Penalty. And that'll surely be it. With 35 seconds on the clock, Raiders will take that penalty and just run it out here. What an epic moment this is for the Canberra Raiders. An illegal steal. Melbourne Storm legends. That's right. Melbourne Storm are going to lose 5 in a row. They went ahead and rolled the dice, and it all came up for them. Everything's coming up. Everything's coming up Raiders now. 8, 7, 6. They're sending you up with a clap. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Melbourne have lost 5 in a row. 14 years. 14 years. And it's finally happened. Melbourne Storm, not only have they lost 5 in a row too, but they're in the bottom 4. They're in the bottom 4. I repeat, Titans and Para are as good as Melbourne. Titans and Para are as good as Melbourne. Can you believe it? I can't. I'm in shock. This is truly a special game that we love to see. How on earth could it be more special than what we have seen here today? Oh my God, this is peak rugby league at its finest. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm going to see you all in a minute or 2 for the next game. I've got to rush over there and set up the next stream. Mate, you guys can all talk about it over there. So go to the channel page, to the live, and check out the Dolphins versus the wonderful, wonderful Penrith Panthers, guys. Appreciate every single one of you. I'll leave a link for it in the chat here. Melbourne, says Blake in the chat. It's a big L from the Melbourne Storm. So click that link, legends. I'll see you guys over there in a second. Massive L to take for Storm. They're in the bottom 4, baby, and deservingly so. Wow.